Hello, everybody. This is Joanne Eisen with Reach the Unlimited, and I am coming live to you today by myself because my guest was not feeling well this week, and last week my guest was not feeling well. And so last week I ended up having some things that I had to do, so I wasn't able to go live. But today I still have things to do. When it happens that way where stuff just gets in the way and you can't do anything about it. So I do have something at 4 o'clock, so I'm not going to be able to go live then, but I did want to pop on now because I wasn't able to make it last week. Just too many things were happening and I wasn't able to go live. So I am coming live today, and hopefully a couple of you can pop on, but I know it's early for everybody. But I did want to touch base and talk about a few things because I know that a lot of people are going through a lot right now, and it can get really heavy and really hard. And I just had the most beautiful sitting in the power experience with Eileen Davies. And she's always so encouraging and such a beautiful person. And one of the things that she had brought up, because a lot of people are feeling the stress from all that's going on around the world. And as we are in the spiritual light, as we're trying to evolve our soul into being more than just a human being and really connecting back to who we are as a soul, then it can get really rather difficult at times. Hi, Janine. I will be answering I just saw your message back. So thank you for being here, and thank you for your message and your very kind words. I really appreciate it. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, because it hits all of us, we all have our moments of, hi, Francis. Nice to see you. We all have our, I'm going to cry. Okay, right here. Whew, okay, I'm not going to do that. So I didn't think I was going to do this. Okay. All right. Hey, you guys, thanks for being here. I got to derail this for a minute and get my emotions back. So, hi, Mary Elizabeth. Okay. Whew. Okay. So, one of the things that I teach often in my mediumship classes is about attachment, desire, letting go. Like you have a desire for something, you're not going to be able to get it because you're working too hard at doing it. So, a desire. Hi, Eddie. Good to see you, Eddie. I was thinking about you the other day. It's been a long time since we see you. Okay, so one of the things, I'm doing something today that may prevent me from doing our card reading tomorrow night. I'm not really sure yet. I'll find out later today. But Marcia and I are planning on doing card readings tomorrow night at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys are around and want to have a card reading, then hop on if I'm doing it. I will post in the morning on my Facebook page for sure whether we're going. I was supposed to post it on Tuesday that we were going to do it, but some things had changed. And oh no, that's terrible. I hope you feel better. I'm sorry. Food poisoning is the worst. The worst. So anyway, I will post tomorrow if we're going to actually go live. But if we do go live tomorrow, we had so much fun on YouTube and changing the format that we did our readings the last time, that we're going to do it again on YouTube tomorrow. But I will post the link on the Facebook page, and we're going to do card readings tomorrow night if everything works out for a situation that I have to deal with today. And if not, then we'll do it again in the near future. I know that. Hi, Jacqueline. Oh my gosh, I've been thinking about you too. How is it going and how are things for you? I am so excited to hear how it's going for you. I never connected with you about the person I have for you. Life has been kind of crazy. So anyway, we're going to try and go live tomorrow night. So we'll let you know. I know I've missed you too. I really have. I missed all of you. It really was hard. Not there yet. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad they're going well. I'm sure crazy. Did you get into your new bigger space that you were going to move to? And how's it going with that? Oh, thank you, Eddie. I'll get through this. Yes. Riding the lion. Absolutely. I may not be able to do this today. Thank you, Janine. In the middle. Wow. Okay. I know. Thank you, Janine. Jeannie. Okay. Okay. We're not doing this. Okay. So, attachment and desire is one of the things that keeps us grounded to this planet. Whew. Okay. All good. Oh, thank you, Francis. Okay. Just breathe and it's all going to be good. Not complete. Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. Sometimes in life it just gets to be difficult and you just have to keep moving forward. And that is what I'm going to talk about because I'm definitely going to get it out. So, in this beautiful sitting that I had with, sorry. Okay, so in this beautiful sitting that I had with Eileen today about just sending out love and not being attached to things that are difficult, right, in our lives, because we're all dealing with it. And we all have to go through our own process as we're a human being. And because it's all about learning, as you guys know, I've been talking about forever, right? It's all about our learning, it's all about our growing. And, it's interesting because 2 weeks ago, when I had my guest for last week, I just felt like something was off on that. And so I always reach out beforehand and didn't get a response right away. And then there was a mix up in days and she was sick and whatnot. And I thought, it all happens for a reason. So I'll do my own live on Thursday because I haven't done it in a while. And I promised a lot of you guys and myself that have been asking me to talk on my own from time to time. I love interviewing people. I love talking with people and kind of that banter for all of you guys to be able to hear different points of view. As you know, that's one of my biggest passions in life. And so I knew that it was, for me to go live. And then as the week went on, I realized that I wouldn't have been any good. So this week, the same thing happened. And my guest was sick and said that she couldn't come on. And so I was like, okay, this week I am going to come live. But I had that tendency, and I'm sure you've all had that, right? Where you really want to do something, but you feel vulnerable. You're really not sure if it's a good idea. So you kind of hold back. And so it always works out better when you can challenge yourself and step into the role that you have desired to do. Like I desire to do these shows. I love talking with you guys. I love sharing with information that, I come across. I love being able to just talk about my journey, and I'm sure that will unfold more as time goes on. I know, right? Yep, the universe pushes us. So I have a dear friend and a dear supporter who has been encouraging me, to keep doing what I'm doing and to keep moving forward. And I am. Okay. This is not the plan today. Okay. So with Eileen talking, though, she talked about desire and holding on to things and really wanting things to be permanent. It's that attachment of things to be permanent. And that's not really where we grow. Where we grow is exactly what Jacqueline said, right? Pushing ourselves. The universe pushes us. It helps us to expand. Because when we stay where we're at, we keep getting what we got. We keep getting where we're at. We're comfortable. We don't feel like there's maybe more room for growth. There may be more room for us to expand and do more. And so it's really comfortable and easy for us to stay where we're at. And that's not always, I know. I know. It's hard. It is hard because we're comfortable. We're familiar. We don't like to do things that we're not used to. So we can tend to get into our head. And that's when our chatter can begin. And that's where our, mistrust in ourselves and not being confident in ourselves. Even the most confident person has got that thread of fear or that thread of not sure about themselves, or worthiness issues, or can I really do this, or the chatter about you're just a fraud or an illusion, or you're not really that good, or who cares, or who wants to hear from you, or all these things that all there's been so many things that when I've worked with people I've heard, and then I have my own wonderful chatter that I have going on in my own head. Yes, you're right. It does transitioning is a big part of our journey, and that's one of the things that Eileen had brought out today, is about how our journey is about that transformation. It's not about staying where we're comfortable in. It's something I've been really pondering on for the last couple weeks, because we want to keep moving forward. We want to keep being brave. We want to keep being whatever it is that we are, right? What we're doing. But sometimes you need to take that break. Sometimes you just need to stop and go, I need to do things for me. I need to heal. I know, right? Exactly, Janine. We're all going through this letting go of the things don't serve us anymore, because usually when we're staying where we're at, it's because we're afraid to let go and afraid to step into the new, because we like the familiar. And even the strongest person is going to be somewhat hesitant to walk into that new, whatever that is, right? But we can't not do it. We have to keep moving forward. The only thing that I would say that I've learned through this process is giving yourself the love and the compassion and the time that you need. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just what it is today. Whew. Okay. Thank you, Janine. Okay. You can tell I'm really trying to forge through this. I didn't expect tears, and I didn't bring anything to wipe my tears either, but okay, that's okay. So what I want to say, and Janine and I have talked a lot about it. Thank you, Marsha. This is not what I wanted. Okay. Janine and I have talked several times over the last couple weeks about, thank you, Tina. Carol. Thank you, Carol. My peeps are here. My cheerleading team, the behind the scene, is here helping me through this. They all know. One day I will spill the beans about everything. Thank you, Mary Elizabeth. Okay, so Mary Elizabeth is one that has always inspired me with that strength that she had as she went through a divorce, and she didn't know how it was going to turn out and what was going to happen. And her husband was trying to keep things from her. And it was really an inspiration for me to see her go through that process and flourish at the other end. So we can do it. Okay. Whew, okay. Here we go. I'm trying. You can't understand whining, so that's not going to work today. Okay, so anyway, we have our team around us to help us, and we had to utilize that team that we have. And I know that Janine and I have talked a lot over the past couple weeks about being strong and being able to take time for yourself and be able to heal, because that's a part of our process, is going through the situation that we're going through, understanding what the lesson is, but also embracing that lesson and embracing that forward motion, because we can't control some things. Some things are out of our control, and it's just something that we have to experience. Yeah, it can get better after the worst. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I know you are my inspiration on that one for sure. Yeah, absolutely. But the thing about it though is it doesn't matter what it is. We all come to that point. Like, one of the things that I had really come to peace with, no matter what, there's people in your life that are not going to get you. They're not going to support you. They're not going to understand you. They're not going to love you. They're not going to like you. They're not going to agree with you. We all buck up against those things, no matter what the situation is. And I really had become to see in the process is that it doesn't matter what they do. It matters what I do. It matters how I respond because I want to evolve as a soul. I don't want to be a person who's going to, and that's one of the things that I've been really noticing. I'm doing a teacher training with someone right now in his school. And in that, I'm really fighting against myself because when I grew up, I always had to fight for things. I always had to fight for my word to be heard. I always had to fight for my opinion or my truth to be understood, and it never really came out well. In the dynamics that I was growing up in, I didn't realize it wasn't me that was wrong. I realized I was in the wrong group of people, or at least at that time, I was in the right group of people that were going to help me to understand who I am. But now, when I raised my kids, I was a force to be reckoned with. And as Marsha will say quite often, I'm very strongly opinionated, as you all know, and I have my own opinions about things. But the point or the change that I made is I listen now to other people's opinion. I can listen to somebody's opinion. Doesn't mean that I have to own it, but I certainly can pay attention to it and see how I can adjust my life based on that person's understanding of something, because that's how we learn, is we learn from each other. And so thank you, Marsha. Marsha and I have had a lot of conversations about my strong opinions too, but it's how we're learning. And one of the things I'm coming to see is that no matter what, we have to embrace change because that's how we learn as well. And that's the hardest thing for all of us to do, but it's especially hard for me because I'm so stubborn. But I'm trying to embrace change. And somewhere I was listening to something. Oh, I don't know if you guys listen to, shoot. I can't remember his name. Cash Peters. I always talk about him because I love him. I absolutely love Cash Peters. If you've not watched Cash Peters on YouTube, you got to check him out. But he was talking today about, my brain is all over the place right now. Hold on. What was I going to say about him? I'll come back to that because it will come back to me because it's really important. But one of the things that I've been paying attention to is it doesn't matter what other people do to me. It matters how I react to them. My goal in life is to make sure that I come from a loving place no matter what. Now, we're human beings, so obviously we're going to get defensive. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I knew it'd come back. He was talking about a transition that he had done. And this person that he had done a transition for was, when he got to the light, he was afraid to go into the light. Now, this person was well known as kind of a guru, but he still had his own human faults to himself. And so when he actually got to the point of crossing over, he was afraid to do it. He wasn't sure. He was apprehensive. If you haven't checked out his transition stuff, you have to, because it's really amazing. But he was talking about how this particular person didn't have faith to cross over, but yet the dialogue that this person had with the universal consciousness or the God being or his higher self, whoever was meeting with him, explained to him or helped him to understand that part of faith. And that's the one thing that when I was a Christian, I always thought I had faith. I know I've talked about this before. I've always thought that I had faith, but it wasn't until I started my journey of having to stand on my own 2 feet and make decisions for myself, because I was creating my own life. Nobody else can create your life for you. You have to create your own life, and I have to create my own life. And in doing that, it requires faith. And so that's the hardest thing, I think, for a lot of us to be able to do, right? Because we know what we have now. We're comfortable with what we have now. Even under the worst of situations, people tend to stay there because they know what they're dealing with. But when you have to go on into the unknown, the areas that you don't have any idea how it's going to work out, then that's when we get really freaked out. That's when we really get afraid. And that's when we can tend to just want to stay and be in our own comfort zone. And that never serves us. It never does. We have to move forward in our life to learn. And I feel like faith, trust and faith, I can't tell you how many times that I've talked with people or people have talked with me and need to use that word trust. We have to trust in our process forward. We have to trust in how things are going to work out. And you could be at the top of the hill or you could be at the bottom. Either way, you still have trust that you need to be dealing with daily, on a daily basis. When you're doing readings, you have to have trust that the universe is going to give you that answer. And the reason that we don't get it is because we're attached to an outcome, or we're attached to an idea, or we are assuming something. We're not just allowing it with no attachment. We have attachments to our life. We have attachments to this world. The crazy thing about it, though, is this is the matrix. This is not the reality. The reality is that we are a soul. Today, when we were sitting in the power with our soul being, with our human side, connecting and interacting with our soul, with the universal consciousness, with nothing, just the stillness of the mind. How often does the mind still come in the way? How often do you still have that thought or that idea or that my hand is numb or that whatever? And yet we can judge that. And we do that also in our readings or in our mediumship or whatever we're doing. We can tend to doubt that. And we do that in our lives too. So if we're feeling numb, if we're feeling afraid of moving forward, if we're feeling like, I don't know how something's going to turn out, we have to trust. And it always works out. It always 100% of the time works out. But it's that right, it's that bridge from where we were to where we're going. That's the hard part. But I wanted to talk today about always remembering that when we're holding on to things that are permanent, where we're attaching to things that we're used to, then we're closing ourselves off to the real growth that we're here to do. And growing is not easy, but it's not always hard, especially when you have wonderful people around you who support you and who have your back. They're not like in the past. I had a lot of people around me that wanted to see me fall, that wanted to see me fail, that wanted to see me screw up. But now I have people around me that really care, and they do give me honest truths. I'm telling you, I have a couple people in my life that will give me the damn honest truth about what's going on. And I appreciate that, because I'm not going to run away from the truth. I need to look at the areas of myself that other people, because a lot of people, right, they see you for who you are. They see the whole picture, but we don't always see that for ourselves. And that's why it's really important to have people around you who really do have your back and who really are supportive of you and will tell you the truth and won't give you lip service. To me, that has been one of the most finest and most beautiful gifts that I've had in my life, is having people around me that will be completely honest with me and give me the truth about what I'm doing or where I need to go, or looking at it from a more objective point of view than, just playing lip service. I had too much of that in my life. I know, right? It has been those moments are so important, right? When we can really pay attention to what the truth is about who we are. Because you know what? All of us are not perfect. There is not one person on this planet who's perfect. We are going to screw up. We are going to make mistakes. But it's what we do with those mistakes that are really important. And that's what I keep telling people that I work with. It's not about making the mistake. It's about how you handle that mistake, how you attach to the things in your life that maybe need to be let go of, people that are not really in right alignment to you. I've had a conversation with a good friend a lot about that, with people in both of our lives that have not really been in alignment to, and how long do you hold on? I mean, that's the other part of it too. For me, I guess I'm coming to understand that there's no time period. It's just you have to do what you know is in alignment for you, because it's not about funny when I'm working with people that want to do healing, and their whole goal is to make the other person feel better, to make the other person happy, to take them out of pain. But that's not our judgment. Our judgment isn't about what is best for that other person. Healing is about doing what is in right alignment and in perfect action for that person. And when you're going in for a healing and you're determined that, let's say someone has cancer and they're going to die. I had a very good friend who had cancer and I knew she was going to die. And yet we did healing with each other all the time because we understood the main reason of healing. You're not healing this human body, you guys. This human body is pointless. It's our soul that counts. That's what we're healing. We're healing what is in the best and highest good, in that connection between the human soul and the soul of your eternal life, your higher self. You're healing that. That's what you're healing. What is what are you in here to do? What are you in alignment to do? I'm not talking now. But you get my point. It's about what is in the best and highest good for you. And I feel like, there's so many people who know what's going on in my life and they want to make it better and they're supportive and whatever. And I get that. I'm not dismissing that. But nobody can walk my walk but me. Nobody can walk your walk but you, because you are the one that has to learn that lesson on the other end. And so when we're doing healing for people, when I'm doing healing for people, in fact, I know somebody that had hurt her back. So if you know who you are, and I sat in my time period this morning of healing in this situation with Eileen, where we had a lot of people together. So the energy was really strong. And I sent healing for that person because I knew that person needed help. But I didn't do it in the way of take that pain away, make her be able to walk normally and everything to go away. It's what is in her best and highest good. What is her lesson to learn? How can she be healed from that in the fastest, speediest way possible for her to go on to the next lesson in her life? And the same, it goes for me and you and everybody else. It's how do we go through that process that's going to be for our highest good, for the soul's evolving, because these lessons are for us to come back to ourselves and say, what did I learn from this? How do I look at life from here? How will I treat other people? How do I attach to things, or how do I let go of things? That's the bigger picture. That's what we're here to do, is to learn from that. And that's really, I think, my biggest lesson through all of this, because, you get to a point where, and that's the thing, what I really, excuse me, I'm sorry, you guys, I don't have any tissues here. What I really came to understand was we try to keep people from pain, but we're keeping ourselves in the painful situation with our mental mind, because we're attached to, again, we're coming back to trying to hold on to what we know, or hold on to what we're comfortable with, or we're holding on to the things that we're familiar with, which isn't always the case. And we all know that. And if you're talking to me, like, you guys have been amazing, right? With all your great comments and support and hugs, which I so appreciate. I have to do it myself. We need each other, though. I'm not saying that that's not important, but ultimately we have to make these decisions ourselves and make these steps and stands ourselves. And we can't be afraid of it. We can't be afraid of how we're going to move forward or what it's going to look like. Because one of the things I've been noticing too, because of our mind and the way that our mind works, my mind especially, I'm sure all of us do this, is fear starts taking in. Fear can create all kinds of craziness. It isn't even true. Fear can make up stories that are so elaborate and so amazing that anybody would be afraid. But then that's how we're manifesting our future too. If we're making decisions based from fear, then we are bringing the negative into our lives. We're going to invite this lesson that we are asking the universe to bring to us. Where if we can somehow put that fear behind us and just open our mind to the truth, open our mind to the beautiful things that will lie ahead. I know it's the worst, Marsha. It is absolutely the worst. I feel like if I can just stay in that, if you can just stay in that, of the possibilities, the beauty of all possibilities, not attaching to what, because how many times when we're in the situation where we're like, oh, my life is just falling apart and where is it going to go? This is like momentous time periods, and we all face this. We all have those time periods in our life. And it's like, you can't help but to go into the fear of the unknown. How is it going to work out, or what's going to happen? But the beauty, if we can look at the light, is we can create beautiful rainbows and unicorns. I'm going to use the corny words. I've been seeing that unicorn word around a lot lately. But we can create the beauty now without being encumbered by our past. And so that's what I was starting to say earlier. I've noticed that past is starting to kind of work itself out. When I was doing the class on Monday, it was like I could see I was going back into old patterns. I was going back into my old beliefs. I was speaking the way that I used to speak. And I'm like, what is going on here? This is not me. I've grown from that. But it was revisiting, I think, that smaller self, that part of me that just wanted to be taken care of, that wanted to know it was going to be okay, that, you're capable, and we all do that, right? We all get to that point where we're saying, I'm not good enough. Nobody wants to hear me. Nobody wants to know what I do. Nobody wants to work with me. I can't even tell you how many people I've talked to in that realm. But who cares? If you're just out there being you, if you're just out there speaking your voice and doing your work, you're going to make a magical future ahead of you. It's when you start working in fear and feeling like you're being held back, or I'm not doing good enough, or you make excuses for not moving forward. How many have you done that? I mean, it's like, I know I need to do X, Y, and Z. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And that's coming from a part of you that's fearful of standing into your truth. And that's something that all of us face, right? Every one of us have, I don't know about you, but I make a list. I have my to-do list on my phone, and I put a list on there of things that I want to get done that day. And there's days that I don't do anything on that list because I'm sabotaging myself from moving forward. We all do it. It's a crazy thing. I know, Jacqueline, it controls all of our life. But how do we make friends with fear? Because fear, if you think about it, fear is only that inner child that wants to be safe. Fear is only that little child that wants to know that it's going to be okay. And that's up to us as the older sister or the older parent or the adult to make our little child know that that was the past, that you're totally capable of creating the future. I know for me, it's like, I've created this life before. It was all my doing in what I do now. I created it, and it took a lot of work. And if you do it once, you can do it again. So think about those things in your life that you did it once, you can do it again. But the beauty is the next time you do it, blah, adulting. I know. I hear you. Adulting sucks. I want to be back into a child. But anyway, if you could do it, you could do it again. That's my point. If you did it once, if you haven't done it once, you still can do it. So, but for me, I kind of like to go back to give myself confidence when I'm thinking of, okay, I'm going to do Aurographs one of these days again. Marcia's been on me. When are you going to do Aurographs? I'm actually playing with a couple of new things. But I'm going to do Aurographs again. So I keep saying, for weeks, I've told you guys, I'm going to do Aurographs, and I'm going to do that. But life has taken over, and, another day goes by, and I'm like, dang, I didn't do it. And Marcia says, how come you didn't do it? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't have time today because I'm not making it my priority. I did it once, did it several times. I know how to do Aurographs. I love doing it. It's a passion of mine, and yet I don't do it. So that's a good example of how we can get into our own way. I love that. Yes, Mary Elizabeth, your dancing partner. Yep. Who's the leader? That's what I want to know. Who's the leader? I will be doing Aurographs. Yes. In fact, I have to show you this because I think I have it. Oh my God, you guys. Oh my God. You can thank Marcia for this. This is what I'm going to play with. Look at how amazing this is. Let me get out of the way. Is that not beautiful? And you can see different things. We were talking one day. Oh my God, I see looks like a monkey and a dog. Anyway, oh my God, I see a polar bear. Oh, Marcia, there's more. Anyway, oh, there's a rooster. Okay, sorry. Hence I digress. Okay. I lead the dance, never fear. I love that. Absolutely. You know what? I'm going to make a post on that one, Mary Elizabeth. I lead the dance, never fear. I love that. So anyway, I'm going to be doing some of this. Is a alcohol ink, and she did it on a little round discs. I can't remember what it's called. It's what is it, Marcia? It's acrylic. I think it's acrylic. But what I love about this is that you can hang it in a window, and whatever, it shows, like I said, on this side, you'll see some things, on this side you'll see completely other things, but it's really pretty. I had it in the window and we were looking at it. And then it's completely different if you have it behind a piece of paper, and you could see a whole lot more acrylic. Yeah. So, and she was so wonderful that she sent me some sample things. So I'm going to play with that. So I will and I found what I want to do, because I've been playing with different ways of doing Aurographs, because I like the blotch thing, because it really shows you, like with this, right? It's just all different kinds of shape, faces. We saw a headless lady in here. I mean, her dog was in here. There was so many things that we saw. We did actually see a headless lady. It's a lady with her big, long, flowy dress, big, long, flowy arms, but she had no head. We don't know what that was about. But anyway, I'm going to do some of those. And, what I was saying is I like the being able to use it in different ways, because spirit then is able to use that to bring out your loved ones or bring out information for you or whatever. And so I found another way of doing alcohol ink with a paintbrush. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to play with that. So you guys can all be guinea pigs. I love that. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Yep. Yes. So again, I want to say that Marcia and I are, if everything goes okay today, and I can do it tomorrow, then we're going to do card readings on YouTube tomorrow at 4. If it doesn't, I got to stop saying, I'm such a mess today. You guys are so great. Thank you for your support. I didn't expect crying through all this. I really didn't. But it is what it is. But anyway, I will be doing Aurographs. But that goes back to I went off track. You can tell I'm not focused today. Don't hide from these things that you want to do. Do it. Just make a promise with yourself to start out small and do one thing, and then do the next, and then do the next, because that's how you get to where you need to go, is by taking one step at a time, giving yourself those breaks that you need. Aw, you're so sweet. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, you guys. Thank you, Eddie. So anyway, just do the things that really are passionate for you guys to do. Really do that, because it's really, really important, because this is your soul wanting to be creative and express itself. How many of you guys have like things that you've been wanting to do? Put it in the chat that you've been wanting to do and you haven't done. That's like me. I'm going to do Aurographs. I'm going to start my narcissistic support group. You know what? I'm going to do that today, because that is something that I'm avoiding doing because of the situation I'm doing. But in essence, I keep reading. This is like when you keep seeing things more than one time. I keep seeing it like 100 times. To learn the best thing that you want to learn. Okay, wait. To learn something that you want to learn, the best way to do it is teach it. Aw, Janine, thank you. So I know that I've done a lot of work on narcissistic behavior. I've had several relationships with that in my life, as I've said. I keep avoiding doing the support group because I feel like, it's such a deep subject, and it just, there's so much to be learned about it, and there's so much to talk about it. It's such a horrible experience, but one of the things that I've done, like I'm in a support group, and I've done a lot of work on that. I've done a lot of reading on it, is to talk to people about it, because the more that we're able to put the tools in our back pocket to know what it's like, to be able to see the red flags, to understand how it works, the better equipped we are to not go into that relationship again. And I was just talking to someone just recently about, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm making all this up, but it comes from being with someone who's narcissistic, who's really good at making you feel like you're crazy, and making you feel like you're wrong, and that they're perfect, and that they don't do any wrong. And that's when you know that there's a problem. When you start questioning yourself, like, am I crazy? Am I making this up? That's gaslighting. That's somebody making you feel that you're the problem and they're not. And that's the biggest red flag in that, in relationships. And it's very common. It's way more common than you actually know. And so to be able to be forewarned and forearmed in a relationship and make sure that you're on equal ground with someone, then that's really important. And so I feel like getting the knowledge out there and helping people with what I have experienced and what I do know and what I have learned, and really all the support that I've gotten in that, I think would be very, very beneficial. So I will post that today and I will set that up because I need to stop procrastinating at that. And I will be doing autographs. So I'll take my own words. I will be moving forward. Excuse me. Anyway, that's my rant for today. Does anybody have anything they want to add? I will watch for a minute and then I will move on. Thank you all for your loving support and kindness. I really appreciate that. I really, really do. It's sometimes it gets really tough to maneuver through life, but to know that you have support around you is really important, and I do appreciate you all and all of your support and kind words. And I'm gonna take this. Oh, there we go. That's what I should have done. I forgot I can do this. I could put that on there. I love that. I'm definitely going to make a Canva post on that one because that is really well said. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much, Fred. I need Marsha to say your name. Marsha always says your name right. I always don't. Anyway, let me see. Is there anything else going on? I'm in my second. The other thing I'm thinking about doing, I have one group right now that I've been doing beginning trance with, and I just love this group. They are amazing. There's 3 amazing people in this group, and they're doing so fantastic. I can't even tell you. And so I'm thinking of starting another group because I think, I love mediumship, but I love trance. Trance is amazing. And so more people that can be exposed to it is just fantastic because it really takes you from being in this physical world into just being connected to the spiritual world and frees you. And it's just the most loving and amazing experience. So I'm going to be doing that shortly as soon as I know where I have more time and then I can fit it in, because I still have my day job and I'm going into my other job. So I will be doing that. Marshas wants. How do you guys feel about a face reading class? I've done some stuff on face reading. You want to do trance? Okay, I'll reach out to you. I actually have one person, so I only want to have 3 people in this group, and I already have another person. So I'll talk with you, Jacqueline, and then I'll just have one other person, just because I like to keep it small because everybody sits, and I like to have everybody have at least 20 minutes. I know, right? I'm with you. Face reading. I think I'm going to do a class on face reading. Like, how do you know which cashier to go to in a grocery store? You can tell that. How do you know whether the person that you're dating is a good person? That's a good one too. Very good. That's funny, Eddie. Okay, now we have a Jacqueline and Marsha conversation here. Energy is everywhere. Okay, I forgot. What is the question that you're answering to Marsha's question? Oh, I want to do trance. Marsha, you should do trance. You would love trance. Absolutely. Oh, you're not bad, Eddie. You're hilarious. What other classes do you guys want? Marcia's trying to get me to do you know what I might do? And I think Jacqueline has got me on this. Yes, come on, Marcia. Is TikTok. So I want to do some tarot, basic beginning tarot TikToks. And I keep saying that and I haven't done it yet. Mostly because I have not done anything on TikTok. And TikTok to me somehow is more intimidating than Instagram. Although I have to do another walk. I've been doing my walks, but my walks have been for me lately. So I know it's your idea, Marcia. Of course it would be fun. I was going to do a platform with Janine May 2nd, but we're going to postpone it because things are just too tight. So in a couple of months, then we'll be doing a grandpa TikTok. That's the way I feel, Eddie. Grandma TikTok. Maybe I'll okay. I will commit to that. I know, right, Jacqueline? It's not fear. It's not fear. It's just, you know how you make up in your mind how everything has to be perfect? So it's like, okay, I have to have everything. At TikTok, you can't do that. Well, I don't do that here either because clearly I don't, obviously, from this particular video. But I feel like I need to, because I haven't done it, I don't know why. Why, Jacqueline? Why is TikTok more intimidating than Instagram? I do Instagram, so I'm out walking with no makeup on, sweating. The camera's moving, and that doesn't seem to bother me. But on TikTok, I don't. I don't get it. I don't understand brains. Well, at least you're honest about it, Jacqueline. I love that. Anyway, so that's it with me. I'm gonna, I guess, sign off. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for listening for my little rant. Remember, don't hold on to what you have as a truth right now. Because when you hold on to it, then you're attached to it. And when you're attached to something, then it's a lot harder to let go of. When we could be just attached to our being a soul in a human body, having a human experience, then I think it's easier to go through the changes of life because we're going to go through so many changes in our life. I mean, this isn't the first time, this isn't my first rodeo of life-changing events. And I'm going to have more. And that's the thing, is being able to embrace the newness, right? It's about looking at it through the eyes of joy and excitement in a child. Like, all things are possible. All things are great. All things can happen. That's really the way we need to look at it. We can do it together. You know what, Jacqueline? What the heck? It has been driving me crazy. Our round table group has fallen away. So I really want to get that going again, especially with mediumship, because there's so many parts of mediumship that people don't understand, or people have maybe wrong ideas about or are afraid of. And, the other thing I was thinking this morning is, it's about working with a certain group of people. I'm filtering now because I realize this isn't a very wise thing to say, but I'm filtering to work with a certain group of people about mediumship, because I feel like there's this whole group that is not being worked with, and they're really not understanding it. And it's really important to help them in a basic way. That's cryptic. Sorry, I'm cryptic speaking. I know, right? Okay, we're going to get this going again. I know you've been busy because you've been developing your business, but I really do want to get together a group of a few mediums that want to really commit to this once a month, and just have a roundtable talk about mediumship, about spirituality, about psychic, about fears. Yeah, we got to do it. Even, I think we were going to do it. Were we just going to do it once a month, or are we doing it every other week? I can't remember. But I think once a month, that would be really good, and have different mediums on and just have a core group and then have guests, mediums on, and talk about these hard things because we all face it. I mean, all of us do. Even seasoned mediums, you all have that apprehension, or is this real, or I mean, we all go through our, did I do a good enough reading, and oh wait a minute, I didn't get that information, and we compare ourselves. So I'm just going to say that we just compare ourselves to each other, we beat ourselves up, we feel like we didn't get good enough information, and yet we do the best we can, and really we're not in control because spirit is in control, and we're just supposed to be letting it happen. So whatever happens is supposed to happen, but yet we beat ourselves up. Okay, well, I'll talk to you. I'll get a hold of you, Jacqueline. We need to get that going. It's really been on my mind because I feel like it's a really important information to get out to everybody. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate that. I did not expect that reaction when I got online, but clearly it happened. And I really do appreciate your support. You have no idea. And next week, I hope my guest will show. I have a feeling it will. I'm booked up until the end of June, but now I have, I'm trying to set time for me too. So I'll keep that in mind as well. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Mary Elizabeth. Thank you guys so much. And remember, be kind to yourself. Take time and be kind to yourself. We don't have to push ourselves through this lifetime. We just have to go through it the best we can. But the only way that we're going to get through it sane is to make sure that you're being kind to yourself. Not everybody else, but to you. And that's only going to help you to be stronger to help other people around you. So make sure that you're being kind to yourself. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Janine. All right, you guys, take care. Thank you for being here. And hugs to you all.